Hello everyone, today I'm going to present our story map which we made with Leon. The same one that is related to SDG 7 and that is called Exploring Renewable Energy in Ecuador and Germany. I will try to be brief and concise in honor of time. So let's start by putting ourselves in a context a little bit. So currently Ecuador and Germany have a similar quota on shared final renewable energy consumption. In spite of that, they have a pretty different matrix energy, as we can see in the next two charts respectively. We can see that percentage of renewable energy is around 70% for both countries. And we can observe in the next graph a contrast in energy mix of each country. In Ecuador, oil and hydropower sources, like we can see here, predominate, while in Germany have a more complex mixed energy which is predominated by coal, oil, and gas. In this context, nowadays, there is an urgent necessity to transit to renewable energy sources due to the conventional energy sources like gas, oil, and coal contribute to climate change due to the greenhouse emissions. Some initiatives have emerged from the international community that seek to identify sites where this type of energy, sustainable especially, could be used. In this process, geographic information systems are often used as support. For example, Global Wind Atlas and Global Solar Atlas give a general idea of the viability of wind and solar resources respectively. We can see the case of Ecuador and Germany just here. In the case of global wind resources, we can see in the case of Ecuador, potential over the Andean region, and in the case of Germany, we can see a potential for approach the, the wind resources of the north region. Talking about global solar resources, we can see in the case of Ecuador a potential over the Andean region, especially in the south of the country. And in the case of Germany, we can see a potential to use solar energy at the south of the country too. Talking about a case study. So, as mentioned above, although the global atlas of wind and solar resource give us a preliminary idea, it's necessary to develop more detailed studies on a smaller scale that allow us to characterize the real availability of the resources. In this sense, studies such as BILACRES use geographic information system as support tool in the evaluation of wind resource in Ecuador. The aim of this research was to select the most feasible locations for installing wind power plants based on multi-criteria decision-making methodology. Talking about multi-criteria decision-making methods. In general terms, the following scheme summarizes the process followed in the multi-criteria decision-making for this study. There were two phases. The first one, definition of restrictions, which include definition of the analysis geographic extension, compilation of cartographic information, and identification of restrictions and factors. And the second one, phase, preparation of information, which include rasterization, standardization, and finally, multi-criteria evaluation. Regarding the methods of multi-criteria decision-making for this study, the following ones were considered: OWA, OCRA, BICOR, and TOPSIS. For each multi-criteria making decision methods, hierarchy criteria factors used in research were logical ones like wind speed and air density, real-life ones like slope, location ones like distance to electrical substations, to road networks, to urban area, to transmission lines, and to charging ports. And finally, environmental ones like vegetation coverage and land use. So the results of after apply this methodology is maps in which the most appropriate locations are in red. In the evaluation of the score from 1 to 100 clarifies that the score is proportional to the degree of suitability of the land. A high score indicates that the analyzed area is suitable place for a wine farm. As we can see here in the map, it's evident that Andean region is the suitable area for implement wine farms in Ecuador. So, in conclusion, we can say that the most appropriate land of the world is the Andean region of Ecuador, specifically province of Pichincha, Cotopaxi, Bolivar, Chimborazo, Azuay, and Loja. The areas with the lowest score are located at the east of the country in the Amazon region. Despite the fact that there were differences between multi-criteria analysis methods, I'll agree that the Andean region is the appropriate one for the establishment and use of the wine resource. That's all. I hope that you enjoy it, and thank you.